Welcome back to Locked in Legacy, the Minecraft Let's Play I wouldn't be letting my kids watch. It's been a while since I've hopped on. It was like end of November last time I played. It's now February. The exact reason that I set this series for, what was it, 6 months in advance? Because I knew I'd pull some shit like that at some point. But I don't quite remember what we were doing last time, but I do know that we have a house to finish. We need windows in and stuff, especially here, because it's just blank wall, which is kind of bad. And we have a bedroom, sort of. So we have that to concern ourselves with. And I don't remember if there's anything else, really. I need to turn the TV on, because the source preview in OBS that I used to watch this is quite laggy. Why? It's because I turned the TV on. Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. I can actually watch this in 60 FPS now, no fucking way. So. This is the front facade of the house at the moment. That hole there, in the middle. That's gonna be, I guess the exit or whatever to the balcony. Basically, that's gonna be what lets you out onto the balcony, which is why this exists. Probably gonna have stone go up the rest of the facade. Do I have any stone brick? Because that would be very helpful. Alright, we're also gonna have to move all of this, which is going to suck. That's gonna be painful. I don't want to do that. I do think, I do recall building a smelter contraption with hoppers over here. Yes. Which means we're getting started on the glass, which is good, but we also need to get started on the stone brick for the facade of the house, or the exterior in general, really. Because it's not just going to be the front facade, it'll be the whole exterior. We've got that. Is that all? All the stone brick I have. That might be all the stone brick. Wow. Oh, we got stone. That's good. So, it's been a while since I've recorded a CTC video. Which hopefully I have returned. I keep yawning. Dude, I need to stop yawning. It's been a while since I've recorded a CTC video, and hopefully the series has returned by the time this one comes out. But, turns out getting a job does that. A job that you don't know what days you're working, especially. And just also when one of the people that you did the episodes with can't do the episodes anymore, and his replacement also has a job where he's not sure what days he's going in, and then he lives in America and does night shift. Makes it really fucking complicated. You wouldn't believe, but it does. And so it's been, very difficult trying to work stuff out. But I think Dustin and I might do a video just by ourselves, like we used to, the first couple of videos. Because that's pretty easy. Dustin seems to... Oh. Can I stop fucking yawning, please? Dustin seems to have messed up his sleep schedule again. So at least that works in my favour, I guess. Even though I would rather him not mess up his sleep schedule, just because, he needs to get a job and stuff. But, you know what? Whatever. Don't look a gift horse up the arse or whatever. I'm thinking of how to do this. If I should have this be sandstone or have this be stone brick. Maybe I have the floor be stone brick and then like a sandstone trim around it, maybe. Is that it? Oh, fuck. I keep yawning. I've unlocked coffee. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully I'm not yawning so much. It's not even late. It's like 8 o'clock at night, for fuck's sake. I'm thinking the balcony could sort of curve. If I can't play this version at all now. It's been so long since I've not played it that I've turned really terrible. But I'm thinking something kind of like that. 1 block and 3 and yeah, should work. That's 1 block, 3. There we go. For fuck's sake. You know what I've been sort of getting into lately? Music. Music never really interested me when I was in school. Like music class was boring. I didn't give a shit. Did not care for it at all. But that was in year 8 and 9. Year 8, 9, 7 or 8. I don't know. Early high school, right? And so by the time that I had missed out on doing music class at school, was about the time I got into music. When I was in like year 10, 11, mainly year 11, I would say. And I'm quite annoyed that back then I never cared about music, back when I could have done music class, because it feels like such a missed opportunity. I could have learnt how to make music. But then I look at Dustin, who never did any formal music training or anything. And while I can't really share a lot of the things he's done, whether they be private or otherwise, man can music nowadays. And I was thinking, because he can music, and he musics pretty well, provided it's not half-assed, because a lot of his older stuff was half-assed, I'm just gonna say. Because it was half-assed and terrible. But, you know, his newer stuff, some of you might have heard before, it sounds good, and my point being is that maybe I can have stuff that sounds good, you know, even though I never had any formal, music training. So I've started messing around with what he uses, which is a software called LMMS, and I wouldn't quite say I know what I'm doing, but I've made like a 5-10 second snippets of things that sound okay. I was thinking if I ever did do music, my first album, or whatever you call it, maybe not an album, maybe that'd be too much. But I think I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Like have it go 1, 2, 3 every, like the fucking thing. The pattern is like 1, 2, 3 and then out. 1, 2, 3 and then out. 1, 2, 3 and out. I'm thinking I'll do that. But this whatever music would be, fucking EP, LP, fucking album, whatever, would be like a. And call it something like the roulette wheel or wheel of fortune or something. Something that, you know, like the wheel that you spin and you can, it depends, you know, like whatever it lands on is a different thing. Like in GTA Online at the casino or in the Wheel of Fortune show. I don't know if it is actually called the Wheel of Fortune, like that style of gambling, I guess, but I'd call it something along the lines of that, and then it's like different genres. So the whole point, like segueing to every song, or maybe not every song, but you would hear in between, like, think how Eminem does like little skits. Eminem's not the only artist who does this, he's just the one that comes to mind. Where you got little skits in between the songs, and I was thinking mine would not be that long, like maybe a few seconds at most, of just the roulette wheel spinning. It's like, welcome to our game show at the start, and then, you know, a contestant spins the roulette wheel. It's like, you landed on pop music, and then it plays like a pop song. And then, you know, next song, it's like, you landed on fucking hip-hop or something. And for the hip-hop one, which, that would be fucking cringe, I think, me doing a hip-hop song, but I was thinking maybe the beat could be like a metronome sort of thing, of like the wheel spinning. I don't know. But But the reason I'm thinking of these different genres, and I just labeled hip hop and pop as 2 examples, just because, it's because I want to try making. I need to get a crafting table up here, unless I have one. I do have one. I want to just try experimenting with a bunch of different genres, see what I can do that doesn't sound completely fucking terrible. Do I wanna? Yeah, I'll probably just do this though. I might make these stairs on the corners actually, that probably will look a little bit better. I have a grindstone, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. But there's a lot of genres I'd want to experiment with. See what I can do. I think synth pop is one of the ones I'd be most looking forward to, because I listen to so much like Depeche Mode, and Duran Duran is one I've gotten into recently. Who else? Psycho Bud's, some of Psycho Bud's works have been interesting. Fuck else the new wave scene? I guess Tears for Fears count. Who else? I don't know, but I've listened to so much of it that I think that, I don't know if I could do anything unique, or if I'd just be blending a bunch of common, like, synth pop songs together. I don't fucking know. But I think that it would be interesting. A genre that I've prominently listened to about as much as I've listened to, I don't know, my parents ramble and fucking argue with each other, I guess. I don't know. Something you've listened to a lot. I don't know, man. Fuck. The fact that I don't have any stone bricks is really annoying. We also need to... I want to kill the Ender Dragon at some point. But that's not the focus. Oh. Cool. Okay. That would have been nice to know I had. But yeah. Music is cool. And I want to see if I can do anything with it. Because I've had lyric ideas out the yazoo for the past 5 years. And I've got some ideas, like a song about this girl, this unstable girl. A lot of this stuff is based on, like, my real experiences. I think a lot of songwriting of people's is, because you write what you know, and that comes with music and TV and movies and stuff. Even like machinimas, for example, like some things from the interlude are inspired by real life even, although not that much, because, you know, it's a fucking Rockstar game, shooting people, stuff. But there's, like, some things in there that, you know... There's some things that, some, like, references and stuff from real stuff. But this song be about a girl called Alicia, and, I need to make a chest, because I'm not walking down there to store shit every time I need to store shit. This girl called Alicia, and... she's unstable, and she moves out of her parents' place, and so it's telling a story basically. This song, and I need to make them into fences. Oh, dickhead! Maybe stop talking and play the game. But yeah, it's more than enough. I don't know why I made that many. I guess I could put some on the front somewhere. I don't know what I would do. No, I want to make the front look fancy and have like a gravel pathway. I think I told you this when I did that, but anyway. Basically, she moves out of her parents' place and she finds this man, who you don't really find out he exists until near the end of the song. Well, you do, but the whole song's about the fact that she's been mentally unstable since her childhood, basically. And I'm thinking if I have like the roof overhang here, and I can have some stone brick fences like connect to it so it doesn't look like it's floating. That's not... I might do that, but I don't know what I'm going to do for the roof. I'll have to see what I'll do for the roof first before I decide on that. But this woman, whatever, been volatile since her childhood, and she meets this dude, and she thinks everything's okay. And the big theme of the song, if you will, is like a band-aid fix. I forgot I did put glass here. I'm gonna put glass here too, I think. 1, 2, 3. But you know, the fact of the matter is that finding this man has just clouded her from like the real problems. She thinks she doesn't have any problems anymore, but she does. She still has the problems. The problems that used to plague her haven't gone away. She's just in too much of a manic state with this new relationship for her to realise that all the problems are still there. So the song ends at some point. Like she stops talking to her mother and she like gets a place with this dude. And I feel like this would be something nearly like the Police would do, like the band The Police. This feels like something they would do for a song almost. But at the end, if the song switches to like this dude, it's like the lyrical style. It's like Alicia rips out her stitches and stuff. Like that's the perspective of them. Like it talks about Alicia as a narrator, right? But at the end, the song changes to one of the perspective of the guy, and I said guy, very Australian then. But I need some fences, some stairs up here too. I think that would look pretty cool. It changes to the guy, and he finds out that Alicia has killed herself, basically, is the whole point. Because her problems were always there. Where are these fucking stairs at, dude? Oh, because I don't have planks. Oh, duh. But yeah, that's the whole point of the song. Is that it turns out that simply meeting this dude wasn't the solution to all of her problems. It was really just clouding her from the fact that the problems still exist. You think it's okay, it really isn't. You haven't fixed anything. And the underlying problems come back to bite you in the ass. And the name Alicia comes from one of my friends in high school. His ex-girlfriend was called Alicia. And the subject matter of the song was inspired by my last girlfriend, who I'm no longer with anymore. But as I was telling you how this song went, about the stage I said like manic state, I realised that I don't know how much of the song is talking about this ex-girlfriend and how much of the song is really talking about me. Because as I was saying that, I kind of realised that that's how my relationship with this ex-girlfriend kind of went. I thought everything was fine and happy and okay. It's like this is going to be a little bit personal. Not too personal, I'm not going to talk about this too much. But you know, her family liked me compared to the previous girl who didn't. Her family fucking hated me. For good reason, just reasons that they didn't know about. Maybe one day I'll talk about that. That looks so much nicer, by the way. You know, the whole manic state. I was really happy, and then I thought, oh, everything's fine, everything's fixed, it's good. I can move on, I'm not, like, sad and miserable anymore. Which I'm also not going to go into super detail about, because I don't want people pitying me for problems that I think I'm past now, I think. It's not like you ever truly get rid of depression, but I'd like to think I'm past it enough. I'm happy, but I don't want to share these thoughts to people on the internet, and because I fear that, I feel like this is the case with a lot of people who are depressed and stuff. They fear that a friend online recently, I would call him a friend, not like super best friends, but like enough of a friend that he's a friend, but I talk to him enough he's not an acquaintance. He did the classic charade. I say he, I should have said they, but he did the classic charade of, I think I have some glass downstairs too. I'm gonna kill myself soon thing, because everything's fucked and shit, which, yeah, I mean it is. We're only in February, I can't wait until May when we find out that the higher ups of society are even worse than we think they are now. Can't wait. Because remember, I recorded like episode 1, for example, before, you know, 3 million files. So I can't wait until May. I might speak on that later. I'm not sure if I want to talk about that. because I know that people have had that shoved down their throats for the past couple of weeks. Rightfully so, I feel like it's a big important issue, but regardless, this friend of mine, which I would agree that, yeah, everything's fucked and shit, I don't blame him, but I don't like sharing my thoughts about that, because when it comes to stuff like what he did, when you share it to people, more so online than in person, because I feel like it means a bit more in person, because, you know, you have the balls to, like, say something, say it to their face. That takes more. It's what's it called? There's a term for it. It's like attention seeking, but for, like, your problems. Right, I know you can still do that in person, but I feel like it's a bit less common in person, because you have to have the balls to say it to this person's face. So that's why online I feel like I don't like sharing those sort of thoughts, because I feel like I'm attention seeking. But, you know, like I said, I think I'm fine now when it comes to that, even though it never truly leaves you. But that there. I'll move that one up one. But, you know, I think the song is based on both how that ex-girlfriend was completely fucking insane, but also how, in a way, I was completely fucking insane. Because I was extremely happy and stuff, like, to the extent it was, like, giddiness. Almost creepy levels of, I would do anything for this woman. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'll stab anyone who... Not quite that extent. But, you know, so I think it's inspired a bit by me and her, the Alicia song. That's one of the ones where I've kind of refined out the lyrics enough to... I don't remember them at the moment, but I've refined out the lyrics enough that I sort of know what the general theme of that song would be. Well, not general theme, but the general, like, feel and stuff of that song. It's Dark Oak, I forget. It should be, yeah. Yeah. I want to do music. And Dustin's given me hope that maybe I can, even though I didn't get formal music training or education. And that's one of my many ideas. No sound effects for ripping the wood, unless my game's just really quiet. It might be. What the fuck? Okay, well that looks better. I reckon. That looks way better now that I've put that in. There we go. I'm sorry I'm not doing much in game. Just when I start talking, it distracts from the gaming. I can't really think in the game too much. That's kind of why I started this, because I want to be able to do that. I can engage in conversation, but I can't think to myself and then say those thoughts out loud without some level of difficulty. Speaking of saying thoughts out loud, accents. I've been getting better at American and British accents. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're better. I'm still yawning. I had like a full cup of coffee. Whatever. But, yeah, I've been trying to learn an American accent. I can kind of get it a little bit. Like, it's not the best accent, but sometimes it almost sounds like kind of convincing. People at work like to joke that that I'm American instead of Australian because of it, but you know, it's just fun and games, I think. But yeah, I've been talking to people online so much that are from America or Canada, and I mean, it was only a matter of time before I started learning the accent just a little bit, enough to do some sort of half-assed impression of it. But yeah, the British accent, meanwhile, I don't know how to do British in an American voice. The British accent is like, I have to be a bit loud to do this, so I don't know if I want to do it, because I think someone's just gone to bed. But it's like, it's It's like, you vexed me, boy, and you come around our turf and stuff. But I don't really want to commit to it, because I do have to be louder for that accent. The American accent's also a bit better when I'm louder, but I feel like it's okay enough when I'm talking. Where's the middle of this? Do I even bother having a window here? I feel like the hallway's small enough that I'd rather, like, paintings or something. I don't know. I'll leave it for now. I'm gonna get the roof on, I think is the next priority. Actually, I probably want it lit up first, because once I put the roof on, mobs will begin spawning in here, so. I'll light it up with torches first. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up those files, just briefly. My reaction to them in general is, oh my fucking god, basically. In that exasperated tone. Torches. Okay. Yeah, it's insane how shitty people can be. Makes me feel terrible. I know I didn't do anything, but it makes me feel terrible about the fact that people can be so terrible and I can't do anything about it. It's awful. I wish news networks weren't being bribed by said important people, because then it would be spoken about on more than just the internet. Which, don't even get me started on the state of the internet, because censorship is insane. I can't look at the dark humor channel of the Discord server that I am in most often, because it's 18 plus, that channel, for some fucking reason. I'm 18, but because I live in Australia, where we're becoming a tyranny kind of at, like, England and, you know, the United Kingdom as a whole, just at a slower pace, I have to fucking age verify with my goddamn ID. Because, TikTok and shit have been enforced with this rule, and I don't think Discord were, but they're following it anyway for some stupid reason. It's just insane. I need to make this look better too. Oh, I put them here. I don't know what to do about this bit. It's meant to feel like a walk-in wardrobe almost bit, but maybe like a walk-in storage bit. I don't know, man. But yeah, Minecraft introduced age verification the other day, at least in the UK. And I don't know if it's coming to Australia. Wouldn't surprise me if I'm gonna be honest. But they say it's for the children. But our former Prime Minister was in the fucking Epstein files. Like, it's not for the children. It's never for the children. If it was for the children, they would do more about the people who like children a little bit too much in child daycare centres. So, you know, it's never for the children. It's them wanting our IDs attached to our social profile. It's just them wanting to be able to see what we're doing better, which sure can be understood from the standpoint of national security in terms of people trying to orchestrate terrorist events or something. But then you gotta think, well, the government can watch you better, which means they can either sell your information better, because money, or they can track you, not just for, you know, when people are talking about inherently illegal, bad things, but also when you're not publicizing opinions that they want people to hear and spread around. And I feel like I might have sounded insane 6 months ago saying this. I don't think I sound so insane anymore with the state of the world. Which deeply fucking saddens me. And obviously you've got the cost of living and everything on top of this, but it's regarding everything that's going on at the moment, and I know this will be out of date by the time you guys see this, because it would have gotten so much worse, I imagine. I just... I get what that friend online said about not being able to do anything. And I feel like that sometimes. I don't want to live in a world that's full of people that are inherently this shit. But I think the thing that keeps me here, apart from, you know, people I know and everything, that keeps me, when it comes to the specific thought of the world is shit, is that, you know, if we weren't here, the world would be a little bit more shit. You'd have less good people to balance out the shit people. So, yeah, I don't know. Do I need more sandstone? I think I might. Where's did I put the ladder? Oh, I put it here. I'd also like to mention, while we're talking about, let's be honest, the current administration in America, that's really the topic I'm talking about today, when I mention these files and stuff. It's weird to watch as someone who isn't American, because online it feels like the whole world online is run by Americans, because there's, what, 400 million of them nearly, at this point? So, you know, naturally, percentages in terms of the English-speaking community, a lot of them are going to be American. There's only like 50-something million British people. Or is it the UK as a whole? Or is it just English people? I don't know. I think it's the UK as a whole. And then there's like 27 million, I think, Australians now. So, naturally, the percentage of Australians is going to be a lot less. I'll be honest, I've forgotten what I was... Sandstone. Yep. Yeah, we got a bunch of sand. Oh, it's gonna need to be cooked. For fuck's sake. But yeah, watching America as a non-American has been quite weird. I'm being forced to learn American politics against my will. Which is sad and terrible. No one should have to be put through that. But, It's I had this thought today when I was talking with Dustin. So there's one episode of CTC, which, in case you don't know what CTC is, even though I mentioned it before, it's the GTA 5 car series we do, where me and Dustin, or me and like 2 or 3 other people, or just me and Dustin on some occasions, take a random car from the game and customize it, and blindly we go away and customize them. We come back, we talk about it, and then we race each other. It's really the core of it, the core formatting of it. At some point during the race, in I think episode 8, I wanted to say episode 10, but I think it was episode 10. Yeah, I thought it was episode Tate. Andrew no. I thought it was episode 8 because of Ricky, but no, Ecock was there in episode 10. Vicarus threatens to set ICE, as in the government organisation, onto Ecock, who is a resident of the Dominican Republic. The joke being that, oh, he's not American, so we can get him deported. I was thinking about this joke today, and the main bit of that joke aging poorly, up until very recently, was my response of ICE, like the drug, which, for those who don't know, is, I don't know if this is Australian specific slang, but it is slang for methamphetamine, which my parents suffered with. Before, during, and after I said that, and I found out about that like 2 months after I said it. So it was like foreshadowing to my life taking a turbulent turn for the worst, because I found out about that, and then I had to move out and stuff. Long story. But that was how that claim aged poorly for a long time. Was that I said, oh, like meth, and then meth had a massive impact on my life. Thankfully I wasn't the one doing it. Thank fuck. I would not touch that shit with anything, let alone a 10-foot pole. But, now, as of late, pivoting this back to the conversation, or the topic at hand, their current antics, not current as you're watching, but in Minneapolis, which is in Minnesota, I believe. Minneapolis is a really hard location for me to say, by the way. I don't know what it is. But, you know, their killing of American citizens, simply because they had a gun on them that they were not willing to use against police, and then they, like, took away the gun. The man was disarmed, and they shot him anyway. Which means they're clearly not... Their label was always a facade. But I just find it even worse that joke, that remark, that little conversation in CTC has aged even worse, not only because of my own personal life going to shit regarding the matter of the joke after that episode was uploaded. In fact, that episode was actually edited after I moved out because of that. But now also the joke's been double ruined by the behavior of the current administration in America for the government agency that was also joked about. So now both punchlines of the joke have been ruined. I think I need to go get more sand. But yeah, I was thinking about that today and how that's been ruined. I don't really care. Like, it's not something that's bothering me. I just think it's kind of not crudely, like inappropriately funny. Just, you know, of how bad things have gotten, and then we mentioned them before they were a public nuisance, to put it lightly. Where am I going? I should go this way to all the sand on that island. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to make a boat, I think. Where's my... It's probably a boat there, I'll be honest. I guess I'll talk about some more things that are gonna make you even more miserable. AI. AI, having its effects on the planet that it is, and its effects on our lives, in other ways, as it is. Not fun. I remember when AI was something that we were like, haha, look at this, look at it trying to make a song. And then it's like, oh, I'm yawning again. The coffee worked for about 20 minutes. And then, you know, it's the most incoherent garbage song you've ever heard. Not even really a song. A song in the way that, you know, some of Aphex Twin's most obscure, random, worst songs, one would say, would be music. But, not anything against Aphex Twin, just, you know, he does a lot of random shit. But now AI can actually write you a song, or it can write you a fucking story, or it can peak the Billboard 100. It's just... The one way this has affected me, when it comes to my usage of the internet, because it's ruined people's lives already, but one way it mildly annoys me on my usage of the internet, which I can't wait to be fucking shot by skeletons in 2 seconds, that'll be fun. Fuck. I'm gonna go back if I start getting attacked, but whatever. Video game mods, you know, you install them and it changes the game a little bit. Think like, I don't know, the Ether for Minecraft, or Stardew Valley Expanded for Stardew Valley, or the Calamity mod for Terraria, LSPDFR for GTA 5, stuff like that. I mainly mod GTA and occasionally Fallout, I guess, but I've kind of dropped that. It's because they keep updating Fallout 4, and it just makes it more annoying. But I've also been modding like Red Dead 2 and stuff. And my whole thing here that I'm talking about, because I'm sure you're like, Torch, you take forever to get to the fucking point, hurry up. A lot of the thumbnails for mods back in the old days used to be a gameplay screenshot with text over it that was in like Microsoft Word or something, right? But now a lot of them are AI generated, and it looks terrible, and it makes me not want to click on your fucking mod. Your mod might be the best thing since like Iris for Minecraft, but I won't want to click on it if it's AI, because you've put literally zero effort into your thumbnail image. You've gotten a robot to you've told a robot like, hey, do this and this and this, and then you've used that, which implies no effort, which makes me not want to click on your mod, because it implies, well, you don't care about the presentation of your mod. You clearly probably don't care about your actual mod. In fact, it's probably written by fucking AI. So I don't really care, and I don't click on someone's mod. There's mods that are genuinely good, and some things that Junior, I don't know how to say his name, Junior DJJR, he's a Portuguese GTA modder. A lot of people in the community don't like him. It's petty drama. I'm not defending him, and I'm not defending people that don't like him. I'm just saying the whole situation's petty drama because modders seem to think that they're all high and mighty just because they can change things about a video game. But he has a mod called Proper Fixes, which is a part of the big drama that he's been in. And its new mod image is AI generated. And even though that mod is like genuinely one of the coolest bug fix related mods for the map of GTA San Andreas, because it's AI, if I had not known what the mod was prior to this this fresh coat of paint, I guess, of the mod, I wouldn't give a shit, because it's AI on the image, so naturally I think all of your shit's low quality and terrible. And what the you saw that, right? You saw that, whatever was in front of me for 2 seconds? I hope you did. But it's a shame, because I'm sure there's a lot of good mods that are using AI as their image thumbnails, but because I see AI as their image thumbnail, I don't care. And I miss the days when it was just gameplay with text over the top, because that actually showcased the mod better, provided it was, you know, the image was something to do with the mod. Say it was a bank heist mod and it was a screenshot of like a character robbing a bank with bank heist in like Arial Slays 32 font. But that still does more to showcase the mod than an AI generated image of some dude who looks vaguely like the protagonist of said video game taking money. So that doesn't show me anything. I was gonna do graphic design in school, or when I left school. And I'm glad I didn't, because guess what? AI would have probably stolen me fucking job. I decided not to do it simply because I wanted to keep it as a hobby. You know, the graphic design for like these YouTube videos and stuff, you know, thumbnail editing and logos like for CTC and stuff. Even though I didn't make the current CTC logo, Katsumakaroo did, but I made the first one. Did I took the fucking boat all the way back, didn't I? I'm an idiot. But yeah, ultimately I didn't know what to do when I left school. But I'm glad I didn't pick graphic design, because, you know, it's a shame that we've got an AI to do all the fun shit for us. And I hope that this AI bubble does burst soon. Hopefully it does by the time this video comes out, because it'd be hella funny. A friend of mine said that in 2025, 30% of code will be written by AI. Like, he's quoting someone, okay? 30% of code in 2025 is written by AI, which Windows 11 is. And then he's like, in 2026, 99% of code will be written by AI. And then he was like, in 2027, 0% of code will be written by AI. Implying that AI is going to do such a shit job at writing code that everyone who does programming is going to have to go in and fix the AI being completely shit. Which, that's probably the case. I wish people, and this goes back to, rich people doing stupid, dumb, unethical shit, would not be so crap. And when it comes to AI, they're gonna have to learn their lesson by AI being really terrible and starting to get people killed, because I feel like the way AI is going to get people killed isn't going to be so much of a Terminator way, at least until the military starts using it, and more so using it on a large scale, I guess, because they are technically using it. They've been using, if you really think about it, they've been using it since, like, you know, anti-aircraft turrets and stuff. But in the way we think of AI today, the way it's probably going to get people killed instead of, you know, Skynet is going to be malpractice, like in hospitals and stuff. Oh, this person, like they don't recognize someone being in a bed or something, like a patient, and then they don't do anything about them, and then they die or something. That's probably the way AI is going to be starting to get people killed, if it does. And it's I hate to say this, but like, I wish we learned our lessons, but without having to. Well, I say we. I just wish people were better, man. That's the tagline of this episode. I just wish people were better. If you want to make the world a little bit better, go and commission someone to make some art for you. Because that'd be cool. Don't get AI to do it. I know it costs a lot of money, but you know. In fact, I've just remembered with this AI thing and commissioning people. Tears for Fears released an album a couple of years ago. I forget what it's called. Please put it up on screen, me and editing. It's got an astronaut as the thumbnail, or the thumbnail. The album cover is a astronaut in a flower field, and I've shown this image to you. I'm gonna put it. It's up on screen at like 100 by 100 pixels at the moment. Okay, or something of really small quality. Can you tell me if anything's weird about this album cover? Okay, let's make it like take up the size of my map. Let's put it over the map because I think that'll be funny. Can you see anything wrong with it now? Because you might be able to start seeing some weird deformations with it. Because it's AI generated. If we want to pull it up full scale, please. Look at it, it's obviously blatantly AI generated. And I think Tears for Fears ended up defending this piece of shit. It's the one album I don't own of theirs digitally that I, you know, definitely got legitimately. Because it's such a... It disappoints me that a band I'd like, yeah, we use AI, bro, it's fine. And then everyone who was, you know, shit-talking this, which they rightfully should, they just... It's just... You have the money to pay someone to make an album cover for you. You're one of the most famous bands of the fucking 1980s, and you're still relevant to some extent. You still have money. You're being paid by a company, like your record label, to still make music, so it's not like you're poor. You can afford to have someone make an album art for you. And what they could have done was they could have paid someone to either do a photo shoot with the subject matter instead of AI generating it, or they could have got someone to draw it. And, you know, that would have looked a lot better, I'm sure, as an illustration, but as the sloppily put together AI art that it is, it doesn't look very good. The idea is there, it's just the execution looks blatantly terrible. And it just really annoys me. And although I haven't seen it, there is hope, because the Iron Lung movie that Markiplier put out, I've heard is pretty good. So, you know, mainstream slop, whether it be AI or people who just think about money and, oh, what's the most generic movie we can put out there? There is some hope that not everything when it comes to the performing arts and the creative arts is long dead. You know, there's some hope, which is nice. I think the last subject matter I'm going to talk about today I kind of already discussed one of the last subject matters is when I mentioned not having an idea of what I wanted to do after school. I think I have an idea of what I want to do for work in the future. Currently I work at a retail outlet. I'm one of the parts of where they receive the goods at said retail outlet. I'm involved in that part of the process. And so I've been doing warehouse related stuff for 2 years now, 2 and a bit. Because my first job was offered to me. It was the work experience I did when I left school, and the boss was like, "Oh, someone vouched for you, saying you'd be pretty good if you actually learnt all this stuff. Do you want to have a job?" And I was just like, "Sure, whatever. I need something." But I've thought of something that I wouldn't just do to make the money, but I'd do because I would enjoy doing it. Part of the reason why I kind of wanted to do the graphic design stuff, because I enjoy doing that, but I didn't want to turn the hobby into a job and then ruin the hobby. Helping people, which sounds pretty vague. That could be anything, but I don't know. I don't think I could do anything in medicine, because not only am I too retarded for medicine, watching people die is a bit much for me. For people who do medicine and they're like paramedics and stuff, I know someone that's in that profession. I'm not quite sure exactly what his profession is in that field, even to this day, but people who do stuff in that profession are, I commend them, because that shit's tough. But maybe I was thinking something more like helping teens that go through bullshit. Like, there's this thing in Australia called Headspace that I went to for like 6 months before I had to move. It's for people that are like, I think 12 to 25. So I could technically still do it, but can I really be bothered? Especially when I only have a bit over 4 years left. So, you know, really, who cares? Which, yeah, I turned 20 during my hiatus that you guys didn't really perceive as a hiatus. But I think helping people would be good. Maybe doing something like that. Because I was in that circumstance, and people in that field did help me. They did help me, but there's also... I was reading some stories the other night of a similar profession of the suicide hotline people. You know, you're told, oh, if you ever want to kill yourself and there's no one around, call this number. And I was just reading how, like, a lot of it's terrible. Because the people are volunteers and stuff, they're not professionals. And I've never personally called a suicide hotline because... no one fucking calls the suicide hotline. Like, come on, no one does. Don't be stupid. But... seeing all these bad anecdotes, and I don't think it was like an echo chamber of bad anecdotes. I think it was just genuinely, you know, I can't make the assumption that all of them were true, but I would like to do something that offsets those terrible suicide hotline answering people, whatever you would call them. You know, the people who manage that, or the people who answer to that. I'm not saying that everyone who does that profession is inherently garbage, but, you know, they're not all great. Especially when someone's at their wit's end, you've got to be really careful of what you're saying. But, I just think that maybe doing something with that would be not too bad. Maybe I could be a teacher, like how my teachers in school were. They ran a small campus of about 30-40 people. I think I've discussed this before. Of people who had troubles at home, or they were diagnosed with like insanely extreme ADHD or something, and they weren't suited for normal schooling, you know, with the paper and the pen and everything. And so it was like 30-40 people. I wouldn't mind being a teacher in a campus like that, maybe, or campus in a special school. It sort of felt like it at times, that campus, but it wasn't. Even though a lot of people were like, oh, you're part of the special campus, or the, you know, this, choose a derogatory word for people here, even though I said retarded before, but I don't really care. But, you know, maybe working something like that wouldn't be too bad. I think it's good that I have a general feeling of what I want to do as an occupation. But how do I achieve that is the question. I don't know if I need to be certified for anything like that. I imagine you would, because it's mental health or something, but where do you get certified for that? And I don't know. I'm gonna go chuck this sandstone in the furnace back home. But I would like to make a difference in a positive way, even if it's just to a few people. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big where I don't know, become a billionaire and then don't do anything terrible and start a foundation that helps people. Which, you know, if you become a billionaire, apparently you automatically just become a bad person, so I guess that'd probably be pretty difficult. Or maybe that's the prerequisite to becoming a billionaire, is that you already have to be a bad person. I don't know. But, even if it's just on a small scale, like, working at a small-time mental health thing for people of any age I don't really give a shit. Just anything that can do some good. And maybe mental health is the way to go about it, considering I don't want to go into anything medical. I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm suited for it, is all. I don't want to be unsuited for something. And then go into a profession and cause more harm than good because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. I thank you for coming with me today to watch me play Minecraft for an hour and achieve not much of anything, really. You know, all we really got done was the windows and the balcony and stuff. And a lot of it was just me talking. But, I'm glad you came along anyway and stayed until the end. Provided you have, which if you're listening to this, you probably did, unless you skipped to the end. I don't know why you'd skip to the end of this video, but it's not like there's some massive climax at the end where it's, you know, the whole point of the video. It's a fucking let's play. But, glad you stuck around. And, I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. It's been Locked in Legacy. This is a sheep. Hello, how you doing? And I guess this sheep will see you in the next video. Goodbye.